All right, let's start on this building. I guess we'll figure out how tall we want to make it first. It's got to be like at least roughly this tall of a building. It's going to have to be pretty darn tall. And then I want to figure out a way to make, because I wanted to add more roofs to this possibly, which I still might. Because then that would be 3. That would get us up to there. So I think I could still add roof pieces to this building if I wanted to, without messing up like the structure of it. Let's see. I think I'd just be able to add 1 for 1 and switch them out. What's up, Delph Dog? How's it going, Mega Noons? It would just be a very large roof if I wanted to work it in without changing anything. Then it would be another roof. Or another floor, then another one of these. And then that would get us up to that level. And then there would be a roof. No, that would actually be wrong. I'd have to make the bridge, like, higher. Yeah. Like, do you think that would be too, like, those pieces going out too much? And I'd probably have to get rid of that tree. At least that one. Because then this floor would land here, and I would really just need to make this, like, half a floor higher. Working on, yesterday I finished this build, and then we started on this one to get a build going kind of in between the big build over there and the big build over there now. So I'm trying to figure out the overall logistics of this build. And then also yesterday I went back and replaced all the brown tile pathways with tan ones, so they match the staircases better, so I can kind of keep that tan and red going throughout with the staircases even. And then we planted some wheat down there, kind of give it some extra just stuff growing. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out whether I want to make this bridge a little bit higher. Like, I think this will look good. Like, I want to say it will. But I'm not 100% sure. Is that even centered? No. All we have is 8s. think that'll look better, but I will have to change some stuff. And I will have to remove that tree and move this bridge up a little bit, which isn't a big deal. Because I don't think this building will look good if I do just a tower with like a one roof on it. It'll look better if I do it this way and work the roof in to every level. I think this will ultimately look better. And like I said, I'm going to have to move that. Oh, wait, what? Oh. Oh. Why is it showing green then? It almost like tricked me into thinking, oh, you know what I could do? I could just destroy it, and this one will grow back, right? I think this is one of the ones that has a sapling. I could just break it, build, let it grow back, and kind of let it phase through each other. I think that's an option. Yeah, that tree should be able to grow back. Yeah, I think that'll actually work pretty well. So I just have to make the bridge a little bit higher because this one... Well, do I want to make the bridge like... I guess I could make it go... Like... How do I want to make this work? Because I guess I could just make it go through the roof pieces. Because that's what I'm just now realizing is like... If I make this a half a space higher... Hold on. I might run into more issues. Let's hope I don't have to like redo the entire thing. Oop, we put that wrong. I forgot to turn on my TikTok, pop out my TikTok chat and my YouTube chat. Hello. All right, there we go. See, now the bridge would go here instead. And then my bridge would go, yeah. We need the steep ones first, I believe, right? Yeah, it was the steep ones. Then it was the this thing. And then should I bump this out? Or should I include... No, I kind of have to now, because if I bump that out, it's going to go inside the building on the other side where I have that one situated. So I kind of worked my... I have to almost do this exactly like this, where the end of this piece is worked into the wall here. So that goes there. Yeah, and then the bridge goes across. Okay. I suppose I could have just done... I could have started it here, too. No, because then I'd need, like, something in the middle to, like, extend it, I guess. I kind of like having this perfect arch go across. These were just so I could visualize my spacing and make sure I had it right. Just trying to visualize how I would do the roof piece on this level. Oh, wait. I need it to be like... Wait a minute. I think I did kind of think something, because if I'm going to space and a half, would I have to go a level lower and do it for that to make sense? Because if I do the bridge or the roof here like I've been doing, and I can obviously fill in that space, and I'm not going to worry about the middle. At least I don't think I have to. This is still half a space higher than where this floor is landing. So, like, I guess what I could do is work this in, because this could work. It'll just be sticking out a half a level above where, like, this comes out. So I'd have to have, like, a stairway from the inside, like, essentially from this floor, there would have to be, like, a door right here. Right. But it would be half a space too high. That's the problem. Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't, because then it would be worked in with, like, one last deal, which will make that just as high as that. So whatever... I think we make this work. I just have to flesh it out more. Yeah, I have no idea if this is going to work out the way I want to. No, I want to get that snap point. Oh. Nope, we want it... Oh, we can't... Okay, I see. We just got to start with one of these, because otherwise that's floating. There we go. So that'll work just like that. No problem through the roof. And then... So there's going to be a roof here as well, right? And then, yeah, we just do a half floor down here. Like so. Or, better yet, we can even drop the Ninjago theme. I should have some white half walls, right? From at least one theme? Oh yeah, it's the Beachside Boulevard, but it doesn't actually... It's not actually all white. The tall piece, like there's a full wall piece that's white and just white, but I don't think there's any other. Yeah, there's no other half walls like that. So that goes like that, and then it goes across. So we're gonna basically end up doing the same thing with this side of the bridge, which will raise it another half a step or like a whole step. So will we be able to make this one essentially the same? I do not know. Because this is now going to kind of... I don't have to do this anymore. I'm going to have my own little roof cover for it. So let's go ahead and just get rid of it for now. This is all just brainstorming anyway. If the supernova were to have it, it would have been somewhere down there. I can double check. Where is it? Because it has a white full wall, but I don't think it has a half. Actually, the whole kit doesn't have any half walls. It has regular white full walls, but no halves, unfortunately. See, those should be on the same level now. Wait, no, they're not. Wait a minute. How is that possible? Is it because I did 1.5? Is that throwing it off? Why does it feel so wrong? How did I get this piece to float? Nah, I probably won't get the regular show skin. Where is this gonna land? Did I get it right? Okay, we're good. That still feels... Oh, yeah. It's because I am doing 1.5s, because this one has to go up 1.5. That's a full 3 spaces, and then that's 3.5 going up. Whereas this is like... Or like that's like 4.5, I guess. This is like an even 3, so it's landing on this part, which is kind of good because it makes the bridge look different on either side of the building. So I think we could work with this. I just wish there was like, I guess. No, right here I really couldn't do it. I could use the big Shogun door potentially. Problem ends up being is on this side I would have to bring it up to like the next level. Like, this one would end up looking way better in the spot. I just don't think it would work. Yo, Gremlin, you got a skin in mind? I'll head over in a sec. That's how we're connecting it for sure. We've got our bridge. Is it kind of a pointless bridge? Can I make a ladder go from up there to up there? Probably, and I probably still will. But every village looks better when you got two buildings, like a bridge going from one to the other. That's what I've found. All right, let's go to the lob, switch out the skin. I mean, I don't think growing trees is impossible, because like that trees aren't necessarily like terraforming, right? Like there's clearly a sapling mechanic in the game to like show where you've broken a tree. So like maybe that's sort of like predetermined spawn points that can't be changed, and maybe there is more like coding to it. But I'd imagine if there's like a sapling possible, why wouldn't it be that much of a stretch to just have like the character place the sapling, even if it's on like some sort of grid? Because that's the thing, is the trees are non-Lego objects, so I don't think we'll ever be able to grow like the natural trees. But I do think it would be fair if they would finally give us brick built trees. Like I don't know how the complexity would work on that, because like if they built a brick built tree that was about the size of some of these bigger trees in the game, that would be a lot of Lego bricks. But if it was just one asset, that would be arguably what the same like um but I don't like, that's the thing, is I agree with, I don't think they'll add actual like terraforming. Like I as much as I want it, I really do doubt that we will ever get any way to burrow or dig into the terrain similar to Minecraft, which I would love, because that's one of the things that I really liked when I was playing Hightail for the last week, was that second column from left, 23rd outfit down. So that'd be second from left is here, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. What did you say? 23. All right? Winner. Absolute W. Yeah, well, what I mean, like the regular trees don't cause complexity. That's what I think we've learned a little bit about that over the last couple years, is like regular trees don't cause complexity. But if you were to make, because that's the one thing I've been begging for in Lego Fortnite, or one of the many things rather. Um, why is there not more plants? Like even IRL, Lego has a whole theme dedicated to botanicals. I think there's probably more IRL Lego botanical sets now than there are individual tiny Lego builds in this game. So like and then the biggest trees we have got to date, I think, is this guy. I think this is the single biggest tree, because it's, yeah, that's like, then there's these ones. Which these are fan-freaking-tastic. These are amazing. But the rest of them, like, one, I want more plants that are not potted. Like, every plant usually comes in a pot, or is like this one. This is like 2 individual 1x1 pieces that are like forced together into what would technically be a 2x2 piece, essentially. Like, even though it's got that void space, it really, at the end of the day, it's a 2x2. I wish there was more like these. That's technically like a 2x2 or a 3x3 base, but at least it's somewhat symmetrical. But I just wish there was more unpotted. Like they're like almost, that'd be nice if they could just have an unpotted and a potted version. Like, what would be the difference if they just had this, but they took away that cone at the bottom? Granted, you could still artificially take it away by dropping it into the ground like that, but you can't do that everywhere, you know. Like, you couldn't do it here if you wanted to, like, do it anywhere else on a build. Is creative better than survival? It depends on how you want to play. 99% of the time, I play in my expert world. The reason I'm playing in sandbox now is because I had a bit of a hiccup in my expert world. So if you're playing in survival or expert or whatever, and you're on Ninjago Island, you probably know that you go around the island and there's chaos challenges and portals and all those things like enemies everywhere. Well, on my expert world, this is a different seed from my expert world. However, I ended up getting like the same Ninjago Island, even though it's a different seed. And I ended up finding like the same spot. So this spot right here, obviously, take a look. Besides the builds, it's an absolutely beautiful location, right? Let's make all the builds just go away. But like, it's an absolutely beautiful location. On my expert world, there's a chaos challenge that spawns like right there. And no matter what you do, you complete the chaos challenge, it just comes back in 10 minutes. You break the build, it still comes back. You build a village center, it still comes back. So I was having an issue where I wanted to build here in my expert world, but I was just going to have an infinite, like, ugly spot because I wouldn't have been able to really build over here, and I would have had enemies spawning all the time, which would have just been annoying while I was building. So I took this project into a sandbox world just so I could, one, actually do it without having to worry about enemies, and two, I'm not really worried about whether I build an expert or sandbox these days until they kind of start to pick up on more progression content. Because right now, like, I pretty much, other than trying to collect all the weapons and stuff again, which at this point has become almost an impossibility. I'm just going to focus on being creative, you know? But here's the thing. Sandbox, regardless of how you feel about it, sandbox versus, survival, right? It's a tool. If you are looking to get better at building, you can do more repetitions in the sandbox quicker than you can do repetitions in a survival world. Because one, you can't fly, so it kind of slows you down a little bit there. And then you have to have all the materials for all the things you need. So it's not like it's a challenge thing we're talking about here. It's a convenience. And if you're trying to get better at something, why would you make it more inconvenient for yourself? It would be like if you only practice for basketball games in the games. What's the point, right? You want to be in an environment to practice where you can do things repetitively in a vacuum environment where you can just keep doing that action so you can refine it quicker. Yeah, I'm making a Ninjago mock. I mean, it's using the Ninjago builds. It's there's Ninjago islands, but yeah, it's overall a Ninjago build. I couldn't say it wasn't. I think this is gonna look really neat. Yeah, heck yeah. Please take all my ideas, use them. That's what I'm here for. Oh no, I did this one wrong. How did I do that one wrong? I must have had it like off by a space or something. Like, it should be a max of 16 nudges to each way, which is how I'm doing it there so easily. I'm just going to the max that it lets you, but sometimes I guess it gets a little buggy. It's all coming together. So now we just got to figure out a full wall to go there. Yeah. Full wall to go there. And then from the inside of this floor, we'll just have to make a little staircase going up to there. Because the floor will be here on this one. So I guess let's just go knock out roof pieces, and then we'll get walls figured out on this guy. Yeah. You made like an ice mountain with a mafia story? Sounds intense. Sounds intense. Like camping. I never really put a story. Sometimes I put some like goofball stories behind my builds, but never anything too thought out. So this one has to be. I suppose no, that wouldn't really make sense to come out of the roof now, would it? Oh, you know what we could do here is we could make that the roof. Wonder how that would work out for us if we took like the tall roofy pieces and we like just ended this building at the top here. Would that be good? I use creative. Well, for this build, I'm using creative. Do you watch me a lot of the time? Because if you've ever seen me play before, I'm usually in my expert world. This specific build, the reason I'm building in sandbox is because in my expert world, I have this same exact spot that's super beautiful. But unfortunately, in the expert world, since it is a regular world, it has chaos challenges and all that stuff spawning in it. So unfortunately, in this beautiful location, I get a chaos challenge that spawns literally right here on the expert world. So if I wanted to build any, and I could build stuff like over in the other spots, but like it would be this giant ugly spot in the middle of the village that has a constantly spawning chaos challenge. And like some people were like, oh, you could make it into arena. But the thing is, every time you complete the chaos challenge, it goes into a different kind of chaos challenge. And then if I wanted to leave it on one chaos challenge, then I'd still have to like leave it there, kind of build around it. It's just like a whole bunch of nonsense I didn't want to deal with. So for this specific build, we're building in sandbox. Otherwise, I'd probably be making it in expert mode. No problem. I mean, I guess not no problem, but it would definitely be a little slower material-wise, and I'd still be able to fly technically. That's a non-issue. Flight is possible in any world now, even experts with the flying fish sandwich, so that's not really a hurdle of expert mode anymore. Oops. Then sometimes like a build like this, I'm in purposefully making this like enormous. Like this whole village is gonna have so much stuff in it, and definitely Sandbox streamlines that a bit. Not that I'm in a rush for any of my builds, but I guess it's a little, for the viewing pleasure, it's almost nicer to be able to log on to one of my streams and then watch me pump out an entire building in one stream instead of like 3. Or if you go live on YouTube and upload it, it affects the views on uploads. What do you mean? Like as far as just posting content in general? Did I get that right? No, that's wrong. Still needs to go over a couple of spaces. Can you show us what you built so far? Yeah. Let me also skip today real quick. I guess I can show you the night view. It's not like I don't have it lit up. But I'm going to do a building over there as well. And then I don't know if I'm going to do a building there, but I want to do like a battle arena. Some sort of like stadium or like battle arena type thing over there. But the first thing I built was this big ass building. I play solo pretty much all the time when I'm playing in my worlds. This is the building we're working on now, but it's sort of a little ugly right now. Don't mind the construction. It will look really cool later when it's done. See, this tree grew back and it phased into the roof just like I knew it would. Perfect. So technically, we could still get rid of it, or we could keep it. But the tree is like phased into it. And then this is the other build I completed yesterday. No, these are all 100% custom. Everything's custom from the ground up. That's why you see kind of like, this is what my process kind of looks like when I'm sculpting a build, because you need to plan a little bit. So like with here, I'm making a building that has a bridge that goes over and connects perfectly to another building. So like what I really did first was just build a couple of like it looked even more skeletal than this does now, so that way I could build the bridge across. And then when the bridge was hanging over, I built down and it just made sure like the spacing was all right. There's a lot of not a ton of planning, but a light level of planning that goes into this for sure. So I want to do something like this. But I don't think that's going to work. Like, I do need to do, like, one of these. It just doesn't need to be in that much. I need to figure out the right increment to do it. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think... No, see, it's too much. There's got to be a spot here that lines it up so it goes all the way around perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5. Let's try 5. No, 5 is not it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that. So that's not it either. So it needs to go like over. I know there's a number here. Is it 2? I think it was 2. I think that's right. Yep, it's landing on the right spot every time. Perfect! Beautiful. We can make that one the last one. And I can even, I guess what I could do is, no. Yeah, I was thinking like, not like a jousting thing, so it's not like very in the vibe of this, but you know what? We got to do the other ones. This is too flat. We got to do the tall ones. Let's see with this. I really don't have any more wiggle room. I have to just do these right on the corners and then fill in the space and see, like, where does that get me here? Yeah, that doesn't line up either. So like that one, I'd have to do like here just to get it to line up and double up on these. And I think that would end up looking kind of funky. I did it wrong anyway. I don't know, what do we think about that at the top? It's not the worst thing ever. Right? Looks like I could always change it later. There's that piece. What else is there? Could probably get away with one of those too. Would look good. Or just like this one in general might look better. So it doesn't have that like weird red. Oh!
Thank you for your patronage.
Oh god, why am I jumping? Yo, Mega Noons with the resub. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The left side is in a little? Wait, left side of what? Or was that from before? I did end up making a small edit there. Either. No, I feel fine. I might have. Let me double check. My computer. I don't know if it's my PC or something, but when I open up OBS, every single time I open it up, I have all my filters and stuff saved. But the problem is, my white balance, 'll reset like every single time. So I could make myself look paler if depending on the white balance, you see there. And if I don't find like the right sweet spot for it, I can definitely look a little more pale than normal. But I usually try to keep it so my skin has a little bit of like, not like, because I don't want my skin to be red like this, obviously, but like there needs to be a little bit of color so I don't look pale. But then I look, sometimes then it's just too orange, you know what I mean? And I'm not like a perfect person with the VFX. No, I have been feeling sick, so it's a fair question to ask, but sometimes I might have over or under tuned my white balance for sure. See, that one's not even symmetrical. What the heck? I think this will look good if I just have the red part in. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to look like Oompa Loompa status. I also don't want to be blue and pale either. Is it true that the more you play certain chaos challenges, the higher tier it gets? Yes and no. So, like, if you're just starting out on Ninjago Island and you're only like 4-star level, you're not gonna find anything. You're not gonna find anything. So, like, if you're star level 4, you're only really going to be able to find star level 5 challenges. Once you become star level 5 yourself, then you will start to find level 6. And when you get level 6 stuff, you'll start to find level 7. When you get level 7 stuff, you'll find level 8 challenges. Now, once you're like me, or like, this is a bad example because on this sandbox, I'm currently level 7. But let's say you're star level 8 on your character. Yes, you can get level 8 challenges. That does not mean all of your challenges are going to match your player level. It means you can get up to that level challenge. So completing a challenge doesn't make it go to the next one. It just re-rolls the dice. You got to imagine each chaos challenge is like a dice or a die. So like, imagine that's a 6-sided die, 1 through 6, right, on a dice. Now I'm level 8. Let's imagine. So this can be a 8-star challenge or a 5-star challenge. It could be a 6-star challenge. It could be a 7-star challenge, or it could be an 8-star challenge when you're level 8. But when you go there, it's gonna, like, let's say, like, it's not gonna spawn because I'm in sandbox. So let's say I go over here and boom, it spawns as a level 7, even though I'm level 8. You complete the challenge, you get the level 7 rewards. Now, 10 minutes later, it's not going to be a level 8. It could be a level 8, but it's not guaranteed to be an 8 next. It doesn't go 5, 6, 7, 8 when you defeat them. It's you defeat one and it re-rolls. So if you got a 5 to start and you defeat it, it could be a 6 next time, but it could also be a 7 or an 8. And then same with like an 8. You could defeat an 8, and there is a chance it could reappear as an 8 the very next time. There's also a chance it could reappear as a 5 the next time. And then after that, a 6. And then after that, another 6. And then after that, an 8. It's very random. It's like I said, like a dice. Every time you roll the dice, it's going to be something different. It's not, the dice isn't guaranteed to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Is there fire spinjitzu upgrades? No, not yet, unfortunately. Hopefully sooner rather than later, man. Here's the thing, if the challenge is like, because if I ever have a challenge that doesn't give me a chest, you know, it'll reset in 10 minutes. And usually when I go back later and do it again, if it bugged the first time, a lot of times it'll be fine the next time, at least in my experience. All right, let's see if I can make this also work, because otherwise I'm gonna have to change the shape of this building, which will kind of make me sad, but I'm willing to bend a little here and make it work. Let's see, I should be able to do a hip here, or a valley, if I had one. What? There's really no valley for this? How did I not see that? There's no valley for this version? Do I just convert these roofs to the other roofs now? Like, do I just switch it? Do I just go, like, because these should work, like, exactly the same. Because there's these ones where these are all hips. I want this roof in the version of a valley. Not this other one, but I could just switch them out and make it... That would give me some diversity in how the buildings look anyway. Because there is this. And then, like I said, we can just... Boop, 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 boop. Make this building a little bit different as long as we have all the same... No! Why are you doing this to me? Why is there not a 2? Why do they do this to us? It's like they give you 2 sets that, like, if you combine mismatching pieces, you have all the sizes you need. What the hell? There's no 2 by. So, like, in all these situations where I have a 6 gap and 8's not going to fit. Bruh. Why would they do that to me? Oh, wait. Those are sides. These technically will work. These will work, right? Yeah, these will work. The gables will just cheat. We'll just cheat with the gables. Because technically it's like supposed to be an end piece. But no one will ever know if I just use it like that. Yeah. Okay. So just make sure I'm using the same one for all of them, I guess. Oh, and they don't snap next to each other nicely? What is this? Hello? Oh my god. My character is not in the way. Am I not able to snap the same one to it? Okay, I just have to be at the most specific angle on the planet. So I guess technically for the... Yeah. Okay, so this should allow it to work now, except for I should be testing it with this level. So look at that dot. See how that dot is the highlight? I have to look above it. If I look right at the dot, it doesn't work. If I look a few pixels above that dot at 0 dots, it lines up. I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay, so we have a hip for this, or a valley, rather. Okay, so this shouldn't be an issue. Is that... Why is that not lining up? That doesn't make any sense. Why is it letting me snap it to there? It should only let me snap it, or nudge it 16 spaces, but right here you can see it's letting me snap it a 17th space going in each direction or something. Because the way I've been putting all of these roof pieces on has been just nudging it to the maximum distance. See, like here, there. Now from that angle, it let me only snap it to 16. That's weird. I hear you, buddy. Come here. Say hi to everybody. Oh, I can't really move the camera as much. I've got it on a different mount now. I still need to get a new light for my room, too. My other lamp broke, and this one's not nearly as bright here. I'm going to go feed the dogs. He's yelling for food. Big boy Bones. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You too, Winnie. All right, give me 2 minutes to feed the dogs. Let me park myself. Oops. Be right back. Okay, we're good. I've been gone like 2 minutes. I fed the dogs. Fed the dogos. Okay, so I made this building big enough. Actually, because where the roof placements are, I don't even have to worry about them going in and hitting each other. Because usually, with a roof in a valley, or with a valley and a hip, what you have to worry about is the hip and the valley like overlapping each other. So like if I were actually placing it here and here, which I'm not, they would end up overlapping and they would be too close to actually have a building this narrow. But since the roofs are extended outwards, we really don't have to worry about that. So, in the end, found a way to make it work. And make this build look different from the other ones. Slightly. I mean, slightly different roof, right? And I guess if I were to interchange some of the pieces, if I had to use these 1x1s, that wouldn't be the end of the world. Or these 2x. There we go. Beautiful. Again, I guess I could use the other one, but it doesn't matter which one I'm using here. Actually, I like that anyway. Okay. Next floor. And then what I was thinking about doing too, I don't know if it's gonna work here. Oh, that is off. I don't know why it's letting me place that an extra space over. It's goofing me up. Okay, so what I kind of wanted to do with this building was make 2 separate builds. So let's figure out the logistics of this first over here before we do the rest. Yeah. Oh, see, it keeps letting me do it. It's either misaligning it. It's like if I have to aim at this stud or something. That's so odd. Because the way I'm doing is to just bringing it out 16 spaces. Because I should be able to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It shouldn't let me go to the 17th space. Like, it really shouldn't be. The max is usually 16, not 17. It's like there I would go all the way out the back one. And that's it's just like an easy, it's like a ruler. If you know you want to move a piece exactly 16 spaces, just nudge it to the max distance and you're good. Whereas this is, it's like, when has this been happening? Oops, that's not where we want that. See, that time it didn't do it. That time I went the full distance and then went back a space, and it went to the 16 instead. So I can't tell what it's doing unless I guess I should just look from the other angle. I'll be able to see whether it's going or not. See, like half the time it goes an extra space, half the time it don't. All right, so this is the height of this build, which will have pieces going over it, yes. All right. Now, what we need to do is figure out, let's get a placeholder wall. And we need to make this building, we're only going to make it like that. Maybe even less. Like we could just do a single tower. Now the interior is going to be very cramped. No, we have to make it at least, how wide is this again? Between there and there, there's How many spaces? Interesting. So if I wanted this build to be square, I guess that should work. I guess we'll figure it out. So what I wanted to do is I want there to be this whole building. I wanted it to be separated into two different like towers. So instead of this whole thing, instead of just copying this all the way back and around, and then that all the way back and around, and making the building just look like a giant repetitive L piece, we're gonna break this up so that, like, even though it's one building, there's going to be two high points and then a low part in the middle. And it's going to make the building itself a lot more interesting. So right now, again, I'm not worried about the pieces I'm using. These are all just placeholders so I can get the spacing figured out. Wait. Technically, we want this one. I forgot. We do want that one to be like that. And then like that, I believe. Because then to get back over, it's the same amount. Boom. Boom, boom. Okay. So now we make the builds go around here. Let's go to the vantage point where I can actually see. So now we have tower here, and then tower at the end with a spot in the middle. And maybe could bring this out a little bit more. So there. Like the front of this. Without it being, that'd be a little too cramped. This is like the perfect distance from here to here. Although I could change the angle of the bridge. I could make it a half bridge and then it angles out here. Because what I'm thinking, I could also move the bridge, because if we move this up, how's that staying connected? Oh. Okay, so we brought that out like what, another 16 spaces or 8? Just 8. Because every space here is going to give me a little more breathing room from that other building, because we're going to have another tower essentially stacked like right here. And I do, let's actually see that. Hold on. Because this is a 16 plus an 8 plus 2 of those. Yeah. So that means this wall would need to be a 16 plus an 8. Yeah, so this actually, if I want it to be symmetrical with the other building, this thing actually needs to come out exactly one more space. Which almost doesn't even justify bringing this out more. So that means instead of there, we literally just need that here and this here. And then again, these are all placeholders, so they'll get redone later anyway. Okay, so that comes out to there. So now this should be making, right here, this should be making a perfect square. Because from this wall to this wall now, it should be 2 of these, plus an 8, plus a 16. And then going that way, it's the same thing. So right now, here we have a nice square going. Do we have to make it a perfect square? No, but I like the idea that this lines up with that. So, I think this is going to work out the way I want it to. I think, if I did my calculations correctly. And by calculations, I mean vivid imagination. So here I kind of do want to make these ones at least nice. Also, am I using the bright red ones? Yeah. Not that it really matters here. I think there's only one color. So now, let's just get that filled in, I suppose. Okay. And then we're not really worried about this because it's just going to be the interior anyway. That was just to make sure spacing was good. So now from here, we could do there, there. Where is it? Can't see. I think it's that one. That appears to be the one. See, now here we can make a separate tower, right? That doesn't bump into that one. Right? It's just there's that much space between the two. See, now we have 2 separate towers with an L-shaped base. Now, see the entire thing? Yeah, I can give you guys. Right now, this is the build I'm working on. The wall, like you can see, I haven't even done walls yet. We're just getting the sketch done, so to speak. But here's a completed building that I finished yesterday. You need to fit doors somewhere, and there's a floor thick gap. Like, too much of a gap? Because, like, a lot of times what could be happening... Just build over that stupid grass. So, like, certain doors, if you're under the interior section, are you using, like, one of these doors, essentially? Like, because, like, interiors will a lot of times have archways. Now, what you got to realize is this interior section, these are meant to be placed inside of a build. Now, it's hard to show you right here, but, like, this piece is meant to go on top of a floor. Oh, no, here, I'll show you. So, like, this is a piece from the interior section. The only thing that interior actually means... Because you could use it on the exterior just fine. But just know, these pieces that are under the interior section, no other section does this count for. Every other section is the other way. Interiors are 1 floor space shorter than every other type of wall. So I could go through this whole list. I can go through the doors, the windows. They're all going to be the same height. But... interior pieces are 1 floor piece shorter, so you have to account for that. And if you use it, next to one of them, because then you're going to kind of just have to go back through with a matching piece from a different kit. Like if it's this brown one, and you could do something like this. Or you can put that at the, or you can do it opposite and do the floor piece first. And then the interior piece. And they'll end up being the same height. The reason this is because, I'll show you. Normally, what the game intends you to do with doors and walls, you notice if you snap a door or wall to the end of a floor piece, and I guess I'll make this example more obvious with a piece that's only 1 thick. So let's just do this, right? I just want you to be able to see the base of it really easily. So when you snap a floor, you notice how it's not snapping it to the height of the floor. When you snap here, look, it's actually snapping it 1 floor space lower next to it. So the bottoms of these still line up, right? Now, the reason that is because walls are technically supposed to be on the outside of your floors. Because here's the thing. One, if you do your walls like this and you do your walls on top of the floors, on every single one of your levels of your building, this floor piece color is going to be sticking out under your door because you built your door on top of that. And now your spacing is technically not wrong. It's just not intended. Because here's the thing. When you have an exterior wall that's at its correct depth, like it is here, guess what? It matches up exactly with an interior wall because interior walls are supposed to be placed on top of a floor. So anytime that you're using like an interior part, you technically want it on top of the floor. Because look, if I do this on a door on top of the floor, it's a space taller than really it should be because you want your exterior wall pieces to actually line up with the floor piece. Does this make sense? Now, again, can you place your walls up on top? Yes. Now, a lot of times what I'll do is like, and it kind of throws off your spacing sometimes if you're not thinking about it and you might be wondering why I'm off by space. So here, this entire build, I built on top of this. This build is on top of this floor. So I didn't necessarily break that rule, but I was just counting this as foundation. So really, I could still go back and make a floor that goes... See how this is like now when I place this floor? Technically, it's like at the right height. So like this, I'm kind of skipping that. And if I were to put an interior wall here, it still would be too short to reach the ceiling, you see? That's because this wall and this interior wall are both on top of the thing. So that's like exactly like what I was doing with the other thing, showing how one ends up being higher if you put them on the same. Now this kind of ends up messing with your roof height because if this floor is technically 1 space lower than it should be, like this technically should be the height of the floor right here. Which means if this is where the height of the floor should be, technically this staircase should be a floor piece higher too, but it ends up working out. I end up just making this whole build lower than it should be. See, now on this level, technically the floor level should be here. But I made it. There's a little bit of wiggle room to it, but understanding it is what helps. I don't know if I'm doing the best explaining it. And then with the big doors, those are a little bit different too, because those are also like these ones. Now these ones are a space and a half. So for example, where was I building? So like again, this is meant to go essentially on the outside of a floor piece and down one. And these are 1.5 tall. So if you're using one of these compared to one of these, the only difference is one is exactly a half wall taller. So if you do a door plus a half wall, that gets you to the same height as that. And now if you end up with a gap, it just means that you either like what could be happening is you're using this and one of them is higher than it should be or lower than it should be. And again, it's not wrong or right. I call it intended and unintended. So there's a way the game intends you to place walls connected to floors. Because if you build any prefab in the game, that's exactly how they build. They don't build their walls on top of their floors. They're like next to it and below. So usually where the pieces snap to is generally like the quote unquote intended spot for it. Like whenever I do a lot of my builds, this one is a bad. This one I like the prefabs for Ninjago. I'm just surprised there wasn't more, because there's only 3, right? Yeah. So this one's like a regular build. You could draw some architectural cues from this build. You could look at this build and be like, oh, how are they using that big blocky piece and all these? And you kind of get an idea for how these pieces are intended to be used. Now, these ones are a little tougher because they're more sculptural. So it's hard to see, like, I don't think in any of these builds do they use the bridge pieces for the supports. They use them on the Monastery Island build, but usually what I would do is build the prefabs, and the prefabs usually give you a pretty good insight of what like the intention of those pieces are and how they should fit together and what other pieces they kind of work in tandem with in the set. And this one, since they're more goofy builds, if you're trying to build just structures, you really only have that one example. Hello. Dude, where are the snap points here? They're like, I have to aim at the weirdest spot to get those snap points right. It is frustrating. There we go. I have to look at the most devious spot. The wall has a floor thing. Yeah, I was trying to explain the issue. Maybe I didn't land home there with it, though. I'm not always the best at explaining things, so. But if you have a floor size gap, fill it with a floor. That's my best advice. Well, you know what? I can just do this. Since I know the spacing now. Boop. 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 Come, dude, the snap does not like me. Alright, so that one and that one. And then this one and this one. So here and there, because we're going to make this like outside up here. This will be like an outside area. What else I could do here is could squeeze those in a little bit and like taper that last one in. So instead of going like here, I think it should work all the same. So like we would go here, but instead of going to the max, I could go in by like 8 and make this last one taper a little bit so it's smaller. So it means then this building would be what? A lot smaller, obviously, but how much smaller? So it'd be 12. I think I like that better instead of making this last one the same, like bloom, like the bloom of the canopy of the roof. So I'm going to give you more peak room over that part. And then we want that open. Obviously that like has to be open. Okay. Got it. Right. Yeah, we could just make that one smaller, so that'll taper a little bit right there. And then what kind of roof situation does that give me up here on this one? Actually, let's look at that first. Ooh, do I do the tall guys? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's about the halfway. That is wrong. One, 2. Maybe it was just 2 that I needed to go over. Yeah. So there. And then I think I want to make this one taller. So we're going to go up like another few here. Yeah.
Thank you for your patronage.
Who done that? Jess, thank you so much. Yo, have a good one, Power Pansy. Thanks for hanging out. Why do we know? You're asking the right questions that I want answered. Why did we not get free Ninjago builds for this update? Every other update in the past has supplied us I think every update has supplied us with completely free builds, at least one building kit with each update. and that has not been true for this one for whatever reason or another. And I am just as disappointed in that fact as you are. Like maybe they're waiting for part 2, but then they went ahead and they made the what's it called? They changed. I don't know. Can you still get Shogun builds from the Frostlands, or is it only Ninjago now? Because I know they made it so Shogun Palace stuff can be gotten from Ninjago Island upgrades, but I don't know if they took out the ability from Frostlands at the same time. Because that was kind of lame. They're like, oh, brand new place. Oh, you can unlock the oldest builds that have been in the game since day one with them. Thanks. Okay. How many? Did I just move those 8? I think I did them 8. Oh, oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. That doesn't seem right, does it? I think I might have done this one too small. No, we're good. It was 12. Okay. Aha! They have been erected. I should probably turn those things going the other way now that I'm thinking about it. Since I'll be viewing it from this way and I want to see that shape better from that angle. Right? I believe that's the move. There we go. Now you can see that shape better from this way. Like the... All right. Yeah, you get... I know you get Shogun stuff from Ninjago Island village upgrades now. But you used to technically get that from the Frostlands, and I don't know if that's still true from the Frostlands. Hold on. Can you tell I used to play PUBG? Just gonna get rid of all the... I don't feel like going and picking up all that other loot and having it despawn. I'll just despawn it altogether. Next, will you build a Hawaii building? I have built. I guess the closest thing to that is like my beachside boulevard village, which I technically haven't finished, but I have a very paradise beachy style village in my expert world. This is my sandbox world, which is a newer sandbox world even that I don't play on very often. But I've got tons of crazy builds in my expert world. I guess I could show you real quick. Take a little detour. Okay, well, this loads in. Give me a sec. That was your daughter? Heck yeah. I'm even glad I'm doing a tour now. More glad. Inspiration for all. Because, like I said, I mostly build an expert, but I'm also a proprietor of. There is no right or wrong way to play this game. If you want to play in sandbox, have unlimited resources, fly around. Like that's what I'm doing right now in my sandbox, building this current village, and makes things a lot more streamlined and faster, especially if you're a newer builder practicing to try to create more interesting structures and stuff like that. Doing that in sandbox mode is always gonna do. It's like going to the gym for building. You're just getting a lot of reps in without having to deal with all the collecting, walking around. Also, here's a build that I completed in my expert world a couple weeks ago. It is just a single build, but it is a upside down ninja style temple hanging from the roof. You build my storage? Heck yeah. Nothing funner in a game like this than collecting things and sorting them meticulously, right? Oh, here, I'll show you the inside since it does have an interior. Turn that thing down. I'll start at the bottom. So you can walk all the way around. Then we got the door in the back. Oops. This is like a little storage area I made. Just got a lot of clutter. I guess I could walk too. Forgot I have that option. This next level is like a blacksmith. And then again, you can go outside and walk all the way around, and there's a door on the other end on this floor. And don't worry, we'll go to the beach village next, right after this. This one is like a dojo training gym slash lounge. And these chairs, all these seats are broken. None of them let you sit in them, no matter how you place them. I've noticed they're all broken. I made this one at this area into like a little movie theater style area for our ninja training people. And then a little food area. And then again, you can go outside and run all the way around. And there's a door that leads to the other side on the other end. And then continue to go up. Now this room up here is the least decorated. And I'm not actually even going to use it, most likely. I might use it in the next update if I need to, like, store more Ninjago stuff. But I basically just made, like, a huge Ninjago display storage area that is ultimately maybe pointless because I don't know if I'll use it. But it looks really neat. Yeah, it's like if you're into Animal Crossing or, like, those kind of just more casual sandbox type games, this is up your alley, because unlike Minecraft, it's a little more, like, I'd say, like, soft core, like, friendly compared to Ow. Compared to that. But also more, like, it's somewhere in between, like, Minecraft and Animal Crossing. As far as, like, the gameplay and, like, difficulty, quote-unquote, is concerned. And then, obviously, the fact that you're building with Lego bricks, that's the biggest draw to me as a huge Lego fan. That's what got me into the game to begin with. It's the fact that I'm such a big Lego fan. Over 2 years. I mean, expert mode's only been out for, like, a year and 8 months or something like that. But I've been playing most days. Sure. What does that even mean, TikTok? What does that even mean? Okay. This, even though it's raining, is my beach view. Let me get a sky view for you, and then I'll give you the run through. Where's the jump pad? This is my paradise beachside village, which is technically not complete. The only thing I really need to do to complete it is do more pathways. But these curvy pathways require not like a super crazy technique, but it's a very meticulous process to get these to go perfectly curvy how I have them. And I wanted to originally do this for like pretty much the entire village. You can see where these other paths kind of start, and I was going to build like one going over to here, and then or even have this one curve around so it goes like over here through here, but it takes like a really long time. Now, this village, I don't have anything interior done, so like all the buildings are unfortunately empty. Now, I probably could fill them at this point. I don't think I'm like running on hitting complexity limit here because the builds are also spread out. But I never ended up doing anything interior. I just was more focused on the exterior look of this village. But every building here is still custom. So like this is just 3 buildings essentially connected. See? You can kind of see with the build I'm doing right now. I very much like my builds that are connected with some sort of bridge. I don't know what it is about it. It makes it so much cooler than just 3 separate builds that aren't connected by bridges. And then technically the other unfinished part was over here. I never finished this building. I was going to make this into like a concert hall with like I was going to do like a stage right here and make it look like a band would play right here. And then this would have like seating and tables and people just hang out, and then there'd be like an area to stand in front of the stage right here. That was kind of the idea there. I never ended up following through with it. So then, again, nothing interior in this building, but we do have a nice little bus station here that's custom that matches. Luckily, since the bus station is blue, it was perfect for this whole kit. Blended right on in. How do you fill huge spaces? You kind of gotta, like, here, you can see I kind of fill my spaces in a build like this. So we've got structure, 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 and the structures are all pretty, like, roughly evenly spaced. And then as you can see in the spaces in between my structures, like here is the beach village, so in between the arcade that I have here, which I'll do a quick, closer run through here in a second, we've got all this open space in between this structure and this structure, so I figured, well, it would be perfect if I did, like, a campfire, little kumbaya kind of area, and I do that in all around here. And technically, I didn't even come through and finish some of the more details on, like, this side. But, like, kind of just depends on the theme you're working with. Like, let's say that was a big castle structure and this was a big castle structure. Maybe in between here, in between the 2 castle structures, like if this was a castle and that was a castle, maybe in this area, I'd make a farm or something like that. Where I'd put down, like, a rows of garden plots and make this like a wheat field or something. or like a berry farm or something like in this corner. And then maybe over here in like this corner, if it was all like, again, hypothetically, if this was all castle, maybe over here we do a berry farm, and in that corner we do a wheat farm, and boom, you got your spaces filled there. Wait, what do you mean by Camp Survivor 1? Are you talking about the villager that's here? The quest. The camp quest. The camp quest? Like, because there should be like a starter village on newer worlds, but I'm on an expert world, so I don't even get the starter village. I'm trying to think of what you're talking about. Am I going to be farming Lost Masters? No, I've already got like, I think almost 80 bells. Like, what do I need more for? Like, they might become more useful, but if they do, I don't think they're going to become so useful that you need literal hundreds. So I think one thing I did with this village is it's mostly Beachside Boulevard. But we had the Fortnite Forever Battle Pass, which gave us all these pieces that I used for all these lounges. And I thought it would work perfectly in this kind of village. Ended up, I was right. And so here we've got the arcade from the, this was from a Battle Pass or a Lego Pass. So it may become available in the future. But otherwise, it's currently unavailable for the foreseeable future. But it came with a lot of really cool parts, and then all the structural pieces you see here, like the roof pieces and the walls. And then, again, from the Fortnite Forever kit, there's the juice bar stuff. And then I also combined, I believe it was like, there's like Nana Village stuff in here as well. What I really liked about this is there's a big banana statue, as you can see up there. And then they have this really cool piece. I don't even know where it is. I think it's under like wall deco or something. I can't even remember. But there's this wall. It's like a ceiling banana piece. And what I did is I put it right below the statue. So if you look right about here, it looks like the banana is jammed through the juice bar like a straw in a cup or like a smoothie. You can obviously see it's not one piece, but if you get the perspective just right. And then we got the bus station again, more just custom empty builds. There's nothing inside of any of these, unfortunately, but again, custom build. Shing, sparkle, sparkle. And then the last lounge is the actual lounge. So this is also from the Fortnite Forever kit. It is very pink. Ooh, stuck. And with my, I blend right in, man. They do. Oh yeah, I guess they drop. Which I've been farming like crazy off of Lost Masters, or not Lost Masters, the dragons. Anyhow. All right. As much as I'd love to go on a world tour and show you more, we're gonna get back to the build. Because they still haven't fixed the legendary power surge relic. Did you know that? You can't. I would farm relics, but I only need one more legendary relic, and it's a legendary power surge relic, but it is bugged. So yeah, everything you just saw in that world is my expert world. So technically you can fly with the fish sandwich, but obviously all the resources and stuff have to be farmed. If you want to join my Discord and post whatever picture you're talking about there as far as troubleshooting, that would be best. I have a link in my bio. Oh, I thought you were saying. I thought that was posed as a statement, not a question. All right. So I think we got the overall structure of this bad boy done. We just need to just fill in. And I really don't need to fill in placeholder walls anymore. I could figure that all out now. Technically, I could go back through and just break all these placeholders because we're going to be replacing them anyway. See, this is why I tell people not to worry about windows and doors to start. Like, really, none of that matters until you get the shape of the build done. It's like all these walls originally, everything but the corners, these were all just placeholders so I could get the spacing, the shape of the building going, and then we can delete all of them really easily because, again, we didn't put any time or effort into deciding on these walls. They're placeholders. And then we can make it actually look nice. Best weapon for hunting dragons? Plasma pistols, I would say. The plasma pistols. Where's the bridge? Okay, those pieces do go up a little bit, don't they? So that means we wouldn't be able to put... Yeah, the floor can't go there. So that means here, in between here and here, there can't be roof. But in between here and here, there can be. So that one can have roof. This one can't have roof because it'll interfere. It just barely will. It looks like it won't, but this part sticks up a little more. And if I put a roof piece right here, it would end up sticking up and not allowing me to place a floor right here. So I think we got all that. We got all that. Did we get all our spacing figured out for these? Yep. Okay. Got it, got it, got it, got it. I think we're ready to start doing doors and walls and stuff. I think. I just don't know where to start. It's a lot. All right. So we also still need to bring out this a little more. So let's do that. Do I want to bring it out more? I guess I could. And I would just do 16s. Crossbow's not bad. It does a lot of damage, but the thing with the crossbow is, like, the projectile is a lot less reliable. I think it's still a fast projectile, but it has arc to it, and the projectile itself isn't as fast, whereas the plasma pistol, the projectile is extremely fast, and it goes in a straight line, so therefore it's just easier to hit. Like, technically, I think, like, it would end up doing more damage. Like, I think it technically does a little bit more DPS. Like, technically, but if you miss a shot, then that's a whole chunk of damage you're missing from that DPS. Whereas I think the plasma pistols are just a little more consistent. Boo, the rock is in the way. Can I make that better? Probably not. It's the best it's getting there. Okay. I think that's a more appropriate entrance for right here. Now I just have to find another wall that matches that. I should just be able to use, like, some of these guys. Oh, I see. These will work, but we gotta move them one space further. Snap wants us to for these. There we go. Beautiful. I like that. I like it a lot. Boop, boo, doo, doo. See, that's going to be too long, right? I guess not. We can just do that. I really don't care if the fences end up being, like, quote-unquote perfect or not. Just mirror that going this way. Beautiful. And yes, I know there's a gap going around right here. It's kind of a L I had to take with... Because otherwise, if I put this fence above the floor and bring the floor all the way out, then you have a gray line sticking out right here, which kind of goofs with things. At least the way I like them. All right. So I think we're good for the... I think we're good for walls now. First, we need a door in the front. Let's go. We can't obviously use this one. Let's just use the big double door. And that leaves 6 on each side. So that'll be pretty plain there. That's fine. The only thing we could fill that space with are these guys. Because there is no 2x6 in this kit. So if you have to fill a space of 6, it's unfortunately just has to be 3 of those. Now I'll end up putting stuff on those walls to make them look a little nicer. Now here, we'll probably do windows of some sort. Let's see. Oh, you know what I'm probably going to do for... I just realized there's a way better door to do than this here. We're going to do this guy. Just the regular open archway deal. That'll be better. I'm also kind of curious how 2 of them would look like side to side. Nah. Because, yeah, I would rather have that be like an archway type deal or just like a regular opening instead of a big door. I'll do the same one for there. So then here, let's figure out our windows. I'm almost thinking less window here is better. Like, I probably should just do a window in the middle. And then do more, like, detailed stuff around that. So I think something like this would look good. I just wish those matched better. Because I think for the first level, I'll go, like, kind of minimal windows. Yeah, let's kind of see what we can do here. So if I keep that pattern going... Right, because then that'll mirror going that way. From there, I guess we just keep going. Just kind of mirror it until we get to the center, and we'll kind of figure out something to balance it when we get there. So now, ideally, I'd want, like, one of, like, these walls, or, like, that one, I think, actually. Well, I don't know. That one matches those windows. And then I could put stuff up against that wall and kind of have it be a little more blank. How you doing? Doing well, Braden. How are you? When's LEGO getting a new update? We have no idea right now. We have no idea. At some point. I'm not even going to be able to have even spacing here, so it's not a big deal. I think we just throw this. We can't throw it in the middle, but we can throw it, like, roughly in the middle. So I don't want to do too many windows here. Or wait, maybe I can have it centered. Yeah, there we go. Right? No, I guess it's still not centered. But I kind of like that for the first floor, because right here, I might not even do these windows, actually, because right here I do end up planning on putting like a little market type deal. And if these windows are there, is it going to cause me an issue? Can I put these closer to this wall than I can the other wall? Yeah, I can. So there's nothing against the wall. We can really get these up against the wall good. Actually, is that the same? No, this one has to be a little bit. So if I get rid of those windows, that'll actually be better for this spot. So right here, we'll make it simple on ourselves and just do plain walls. So hey, how these walls just like goof up the whole vibe. Like, because these walls match, but then some of the other walls end up having those tan parts in them. And it totally takes away from the other style you're going with. Like, I guess that one is, like, less noticeable. Because, again, here we're going to do, like, decorative stuff. Almost like a little shop back here. So we want something like this. I'll worry about this later. Otherwise, I'm going to get too into detail. Got to work on the details we know. We know we want to work on first. Okay, so over here, we'll probably just do what I was going to do over there. Oops. So these two and these two are like 2 studs closer than these two and these two, but you'll never notice that. Oh wait, I do have space on this side. Okay, I forgot it's a little like odd shape, so I can't do one of those between there. But do I really want to? Because then it kind of doesn't match. I should probably just do these ones. Am I too worried about matching? No, because ultimately none of the pieces end up matching perfectly anyway. All right, that wall we're leaving blank. This one. Maybe we do a door here as well. Maybe not a big one, but a small one. One door at each end doesn't sound unreasonable. All right. We got that part done. Now I should probably make these towers pretty much the same. Because they are, I think, the same width. So whatever I do for one, I should be able to do for the other. And see, I'd also love to make a building out of these, but these ones, like, you have, like, no options for these brown and white pieces. Very limited, in my opinion. I should probably use more of these, because I haven't really used much of these ones yet. Like, at all. I haven't really used these windows in that build. Nor have I really used them in that build. And this build does have a different roof than the other two builds. So ultimately, I could make that like the differentiating feature of this build, or one of them. But just like, I ultimately don't like the way they look. They're not as cool as some of the other ones. I could maybe do more of these open ones too. Like these guys. Like I do like the way those look. I actually don't think that would be a bad idea. That must have been an accident. I think that'll look pretty nice. Because this is a pretty repetitive build, and it's a pretty simple design going up for it. Like, I think ultimately this will be our winner. And I might even do it going like all the way up the build. So this one's actually going to receive a door. We should probably do... yeah, let's just do one of these. Yeah, just make it an open door, and then... like that. Because this is going to be a open floor here. Oh, don't want to flip those. Stop doing that. $35 stream streak. Jeez. When LEGO getting a new update? Hopefully in the next couple months, but we really have no idea at this point when exactly it's going to happen. Cool, cool, cool. And then all these ones, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do these ones all the same. So let's get some repetition going. Boop. Boop. See, a lot of it is just figuring out your shape, and then like once you figure out a pattern for a floor, then it's just copy and paste to the rest. Not always. Sometimes, like with this one, technically each floor is a little bit different. So really it's figuring out what you want to do for this face, and then copying it all the way around this floor. Then you figure out what you want to do for this face, copying it all the way around this floor. And that's not with all, like, this is a very symmetrical build in nature. So it's kind of just working out that way. But like this build, I don't see the point in like changing each level to make it have like different window patterns and stuff. Sometimes the repetition looks good. Sometimes repetition is bad and it's too much, but it has its place. Like everything, right? So those rows we got. Let's go back through with these guys. I can't see. Why did it reflip? Oops. I want to keep them consistent. I guess I'll keep them the same way. At the end of the day, those don't really matter if I haven't flipped one way or another. See how it all comes together so quickly as soon as you get the walls in? And now these we should make. I think up here we go back and we do the... I got it. I got it. We do these guys. These look cool on the top level. They just do. Especially since there's not going to be anything in here. This is more just... I can put statues in here or a light source or something like that. Make it glow. And then we go do the same thing here. And you know, I'm wondering too, is I might be able to make these buildings have a little more pizzazz. What I might do, as I've been thinking about it, is replacing the corners with the slightly more fancy ones. I think it would add a lot more color to these builds and make them look less blocky. Because I didn't use those corners on this one because I didn't think it would I like this blocky look, but I think for these ones, what do you think? Since I haven't really, what did I use on these ones? I think I used regular blocks on the corners here. And again, since this building is different by nature because of the roofs, I'm thinking I should make it uniformly different in a way like that. Where do you guys like this corner better? Like imagine all these corner pieces switched out for these more, I guess, detailed ones, right? My streams, I go from 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time to about 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So I got about an hour and a half left. Yeah, you think these ones would be better? It definitely smooths it out and makes it look a little less blocky. And it also gives us more white. Because I think we're getting a little too heavy on red in this build. Whereas, like, there, I feel like there's a good balance between red and white. Where here, there's, like, less building. There's, like, the building is smaller. So, like, the proportions are more off. There's almost, like, too much red to white. Whereas, like, here, the red is more of an accent than, like, it's almost, like, 60 to 70% white and, like, 30% red. Whereas this build, because the structure is smaller, you're seeing almost like 50% red and 50% white, where I think we just need a little more white in the picture. Let's go do this one. And see, these are all the little decisions you can make afterwards. That's why I always tell people, again, don't worry about, like, windows, doors, all that fancy stuff, because you may be changing it out anyway. And again, even with these corner pieces that I was pretty set on, you know, we go back and decide, oh, I want to do something slightly different. And all we have to do is delete a piece and replace it with its twin piece that fills the same amount of space but looks different. Yeah, I think that's actually super nice. Yeah, I already like the way that looks better. Oh, I guess I never added those pieces here. Maybe at the base I keep it like that? Or do you think I do the base corners as well? Stop it! Stop it! Let me release me! Base, you keep it? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Those ones are coming together. And I like how there's 3 different heights. I got one a little bit higher, and then this one's a little bit lower, and it goes a little bit higher than the first one. I like that I accomplished that. I like that they're not all the same height. They're like barely different heights. That one's the shortest. That one's a little taller. That one's a little taller. I got some. You guys be building crazy stuff in chat too? You found the right stream. So this structure we finished yesterday. And pro tip, if you're building with Ninjago stuff, these roof pieces make fantastic fences. Just kind of stacking them back and forth. And even these, they don't like fill the gap perfectly. Like if you have them here to here, which here I have an open gap for the walkway. But these make very, very good looking fences. But we got that build that I finished yesterday, and then the original build that I started this whole thing off was this guy here. But we're working on this spot in my expert world is unfortunately like super goofed because I have a chaos challenge that spawns here. So I was gonna build this whole thing in my expert world, but because I have a chaos challenge in this same spot, goofing up, like it kind of ruins the whole build for me. I don't want to build around an unremovable chaos challenge that's going to have enemies spawning constantly. So I took this build in the sandbox here. But the plan is, now that we've got that space filled like I intended to, I want to get a big-ass building built over there. And then I might do a medium-ish small building here or something still. But over there, I still want to do like some sort of like battle arena or like something like that, where it's like a jousting arena kind of deal. Yeah, the game's gotten a lot better since the game came out, but it's still got a long way to go. Were you using luck? That's why I always tell people use luck. Luck can double up whatever the enemy drops by chance. It doesn't always happen, but it's a chance drop to get the double. But the relics do count. So if you kill something with luck and it drops a relic, you definitely have a chance to get a second one. So that's actually huge, because when I was fighting dragons, there was a handful of times that I would get to as well. Except for the power surge. Or the legendary power surge. Okay. So here we just do a window in the middle. The only place we can fit one there. And then up there has to go half walls. And then here is going to be a door. We can't fit anything there, so those are going to have to be regular walls. But then these will go there. Those will go there, and then we fill in the rest of it with doodads. Oh, you know what? If I get rid of this on this one, I actually can do that. Or I put the whites on the outside, like the white parts on the outside. See what I'm saying? Switch it. What do you think? Like this? Or like the other way I had it? Or like, I guess like this side or like this side? I can't tell what I like better there. It's kind of like almost doesn't even matter. Oh, we got to do the corners too. Let's not forget those. Replace these ones. See, this gives us more white color too, like we wanted. I think it really brings together this specific structure. Oh, and then we got to grab a couple half walls too. That works. No, yeah, it's power surge. I know when they both have power in the name, it just leads to an inevitable confusion. Yeah, it's the power surge, the lightning one. Actually, let's go out from the corner. Why does it keep popping around like that? No, stop it. Release me. Hello? What is up with this? Dude, sometimes it just does not track where you want to put a piece. Here we go. See the vision. It's all coming together now. Still got to finish this building to an extent. But we got this whole thing up today. It's been erected. And I think I got all the corners done that I wanted to. Did we get that? Yeah. We're just going to leave the bottom corner pieces as is, unless I decide against that later. Real quickly, let's go through and do at least stairs and floors for this building. Wait, why do I have a hole in the door there? Oh, yeah, because of these things. It's like, why do I have a hole right there? I forgot that's going to be like part of the interior, technically, is like those open parts. Okay, so we need to get up here to this level to get to the bridge. So let's grab our stairs, and we need this staircase to not interfere with that door or this door. So I'm gonna go like there. No, I got this. So we gotta go like here. Here. There we go. Doesn't interfere with the wall. Except for this. Oh, wait. Let's just do that. This way. And this way. And then that should get us to the level that we need to be on. Just because I want all the planks to face the same way. Oh yeah, technically those go under that. Oh, wrong. No, I can't see which way they're facing until after I place it. Can I see? There we go. All right, so now we get this going to there. Oh, those interfere with each other on a curve. I see. That's not such a big deal. I could use other ones here that I think will work. Or maybe all I do, I got it. We just bring this back by like 2 spaces or something like that. And that way it's, I don't think it'll bonk anymore. We'll see. Oh my god. Yeah, there we go. We just need like... And now we pretty much do the same thing to get us up to that level. So we go here. Oh wait, this room is smaller. That's right. Is it? Wait, no, it's like the same size, isn't it? Shouldn't I be able to do the same thing? Yeah, so if we do that. There. 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 And then technically we're still below that floor, so we're good. And then we go there. Why did this line is... Oh, I see. I got it. I got it. This is where the floor thing starts to come into play. It's almost not worth explaining, but like the snap points, oops, aren't always perfect. And then also depending on like what I've done here is my floors aren't technically on the right height to begin with. Wait. It's getting in the way. There we go. Oops. I forgot that was the whole piece. I didn't have any smaller ones. So this one we want higher. And then these gotta break. And then that should be landing at the right level now. Or at least consistent where I have the other floors on the other level. Yeah. Perfect. Oh god. My bridge. Alright, and I can do the same thing for this one, but this one doesn't technically need any access yet. I just needed to make sure I could get this to work, so when I get the bridge going, we are good to go. So here, what we're going to do is I think we're going to do... I'm kind of curious what you guys think. I could go one of 2 routes. We could go railings on the side. Now, the thing with the railings is, check it out. So with the way this bridge is designed, you can see there's going to be like some gaps regardless of what I do here. And then what I would end up doing is I don't have a 12. So we're just going to improvise with this. So I want my bridge to be on the inside. So that way, we're going to see it from the bottom for sure, but I don't want to see the sides. I don't want to see tan sticking out. Because again, if I were to do essentially bring it all the way out to there, then when I put this on top of here, you see how there's a tan line that we don't want to see there? Now, the other option we have here, I mean, there's a lot of options, but the other option I'm thinking here is we go across with these guys. Now, there's going to be a little bit of an issue here because I can't get all the way up there. I can start here. But I'm also thinking, like, these would look pretty good going across the bridge instead of the fences. Now, the fences would look good, but I'm curious what you guys think. Because no matter what, we're going through the center with these guys. Oh, whoa, how did I do that? Uh-oh. Wait. Oh, it's because I see. These pieces. I'm like, wait, how did I get that off by one space? It's because that's occupying one space, and this is occupying two. So what do you guys think? The black or the red railings? Either way, I should be able to make them work. I could just scoot those forward another space and have them work the same. Oh, it didn't even work out the same. Hold on. I honestly think the red's gonna end up looking better. It just matches the bridge better, doesn't it? Ah! I'm suing. Oh, that looks spicy, dude. That looks so good. Yeah, no, I think this decides it. Because I already have, if you look at this from the top, it would just be like all this black roof, and then the black roofing there, if I did it on the side, it would just like blend it all together in a bad way. This definitely differentiates it more, yeah. Oh, here I should be able to do a few more of these too. Like that. And then, so for here, I think the spacing, we'll get this done real quick. I also have to pee. Maybe I'll do that first. Because these ones, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to make this building pretty much the same as the last, although I could do it a little different. I could make it a little different. Instead of those two windows, I could always go with like another two. But I'm kind of liking the idea of keeping this all like kind of this whole continuous structure to like rhyme, even though they do have different roof pieces. I'm sure there's at least one window out there like that I did backwards and ended up leaving it. At least one. So like normally I would really try to make every level have like a different pattern of windows, but some buildings repetition pays off. See another reason? I guess they do have dark red version of that. These ones they did a good job. The only thing they did do a dark red version of everything in this section, but not every section has like a dark red counterpart. Like, see, the dark red doesn't have any of like these type of pieces, like the plain ones. It's only these more detailed looking ones. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to do the corners on these too. So those kind. Oh, and did I mean to replace that one? I think this one. I also put it the wrong way. Oh no, that one I did actually mean to replace with that one. It's the bottom that I didn't. But that still was on the wrong direction there, that's for sure. So right here, we'll need a couple of half walls. Yep, that should be all the half walls we need to fill. So we all got all that filled in, right? Yep. And then the bottom level will mimic what we did over here, even though it's the same kind of deal. So we definitely want a door here. Let's do big old double door in the middle. Hello? Why am I not snapped that? There we go. I think for this one, we're going to do slightly different windows to match the bottom level of the other one. So what I think we want to do is... What kind of space do we have here? Did I use the right ones there? Yeah, okay. Move it, tree. Maybe we'll just go with these guys in the middle. I like having these as like ground floor. It's like a simple pattern too. It's nothing too crazy. Guess that one's like, it's not too big of a difference which way I go. Because this is the part that ends up being like really repetitive, but... All right. There's our progress. And this, don't worry, this building right here, that blank spot, we're going to liven that up too. It's very empty. But I'm going to run to the restroom and we'll get working on it. Did I make these buildings face the same way? Oh, yeah, no, these ones are on a custom angle, so they're like slightly off from even that one is. They look a little more natural that way, actually. Yeah, I got about 45 minutes left on the stream. I'm just gonna pee, and then we'll keep it going. But yeah, you can even see the bridge from this point. That's sick. Be right back. right, let's finish up what we can finish up here. I think we just needed to do these pieces all the way around. Now, I wish we had better pieces here, or at least more variety of these 2x2s. One thing I really, like, I don't see why they would disallow us to do this. I get, like, but then here's the other, I guess here's my point against this. They're already not putting stuff in the item shop. So, like, are they really depending on our money in the item shop, you know? Like, I would say not. This game, they're coming out with updates anyway, regardless of the money we're pouring into this. So I would really like it if they could add something into the game where you could have, like, a piece editor where, like, I could click on this piece and, like, kind of choose, like, oh, if I want to make those tan parts not tan and make them white instead. Like, I really kind of wish I had that minuscule option to do so. Like, I should at least be able to edit it to a color that's already within the palette. Maybe I can't make it purple or neon orange, but, like, this is dark tan, white, and red. I think it wouldn't be too much to ask for some sort of light editor where you can make minor changes to pieces. So you could, like, if you like the texture of this piece, but wanted to maybe make it a color for castle instead, like, you could. Like, something along those lines. Or I've even said they should have, with every build kit should have, like, one alternate color palette. So, like, this is red, white, and tan, but there should, for this whole kit, for every one of these pieces, there should be at least one alternate color scheme. Same exact pieces, same exact texture. They just intentionally make it, like, I don't know, like dark blue and gray or something instead of white and red. And that way you'd have, like, essentially two completely contrasting build kits in one, and all you did was change the color from one to the other. Now, I still got to think about what I might want to do for this, as far as, like, stuff, anything on the wall. I do have a little bit of flexibility in that regard. I at least can put the little dangly pieces, whatever those were called. All right. Should be all of those. See, this building is looking a little plain because it's very repetitive, but I think, let's test it out now. I should be able to add some wall stuff to the tops at least, or the bottoms. I can't do it in the middle just because these wall pieces are just really annoying. They only let you line it up at the red part, which actually sticks out a little bit more. And then as soon as you have that on this part, it's either floating or running into it. So let's get the Daigo pieces in first. Because these, I want to say I should be able to fit, yeah, 2 going across on each one. So that'll bring some more life to all of these. You know, I wonder if here would be a good place to go back in and use the different ones. Because I haven't used these ones in the whole build. But they do... no, the white you lose the white parts of it. Like these are all tan, so you kind of see it better. Oh. It's in the way all of a sudden. Oh, maybe it's just I had it flipped. See here, not gonna be able to fit them there because it kind of interferes. That's fine. Oh. These ones can go closer to the wall, right? Oh, they can't. I guess the door is blocking it or something. Just to bump it out a little bit. Alright. Boom. Now we just gotta do these ones. See how it already brings it to life a little bit more? Like just a little bit of extra. And we still haven't even done lights yet either. I usually go through and like, you got like, I usually don't just go, like if I were to do start here and do the windows, then do these, then do lights, then do everything, I feel like a little too overwhelmed. I like to get one consistent thing figured out and then basically copy that throughout all the other areas of the build that I know I want to kind of use that same tech. So right here, we'll just go back and do the same things here because it's, we know we need to do it. Oh, I'm putting those the wrong way too. There we go. Just gotta make sure it's the little tiles that are there facing the right way. We're bringing it to life piece by piece. The sides of what? Or like the corner pieces, what you're talking about? We may or may not. We'll see. I'll kind of give it a look at the end because that's such an easy switch. That's like, that'll literally take like a minute and a half to probably switch all those ones out at the end of the day. Oh, is it gonna let me? Oh, hell yeah! If I can look at it at the right angle. The pieces go right around that. Oh, it needs to go up more. Yes! I wasn't able to work it around those ones, but I was able to work it around those ones just fine. And then obviously I can't do one there, but I could maybe do one right in the middle. Yep. And then it really wouldn't make sense to do one there. Would it make sense to do one in the middle here? Oh, not really, no. All right. That one, and then we'll figure out something for the bottom layer there, because it's a little different shape. Now, if you don't have Daigo's kit, that's really unfortunate, because it's almost like these parts were, like, made to go with these Ninjago pieces. They look so good together. And unfortunately, the Daigo's kit is, like, no longer available, and God only knows if it'll be available again to purchase in the shop, because it was a free unlock to begin with. But just like any build they've come out with in this game, they always put in fine print that these may return to the item shop at a future date. Now, only one time ever has that happened, and it was with Star Wars builds. So they've, you know, Lockheed's Lighthouse and some of the other item shop specific builds, obviously those ones reoccur in the item shop. But when you miss a battle pass, a Lego pass, or one of the free kits, they do always say that technically these will be available or could be available in the future. Now, the only time that's happened is with the Lego Star Wars Lego Pass. They did end up putting the Tatooine builds in the item shop this year when they had come out as a Lego Pass the year previous. Otherwise, there's been no other situation where free builds, like maybe they had like the same with like The Simpsons. The Simpsons was a free unlock, so I'm not exactly sure if they'll make that another free unlock like another time. Why is it I'm not getting any of these right? Or what's the deal with that exactly? But I'm hoping like Daigo's workshop stuff comes into the item shop for like, you know, 500 to 1,000 V-Bucks or something reasonable like that, because it didn't even come with builds. It was just decor, including the pieces I'm using right now. And then I suppose I could fit these up here, huh? I guess what I could do here too is I think, how big is that? It's like 12. Is that what I'm doing there? I think if I put another box up on top of this one, I could like mimic that and make this one another. Like here, it'll only take a second to do. So what I was thinking, I think this build. Oh. Oh. Huh. Wouldn't have noticed that. Odd. But is this the same distance that we have over there? Because I think we're just doing a window and two pieces. Which I think it is. I think it does end up being the same size. Which means we could do the same exact thing on top of this build and make it match the other one just a little bit better, and it makes this building a wee bit taller. Maybe it'll make it as tall as that building is. Actually, don't know. Oh, and technically we would want the other corners too. What do we think about that on the top there? Or is that no? No, I just leave it how it was, do you think? We like that added on, or should I just cut that and bring that back down? Oh, heck yeah, Ferris like DMNKY. Thank you so much. I'm glad that that's the case. Oh, it makes it look a little too similar to those other builds. And then it makes those almost... Like, that one's still a little bit taller. Like, do we like that? Yeah, which way? Yeah, get rid of it, or yeah, keep it? Because I don't think it looks as good when it's not on top. Because, like, these ones have a really big roof coming out from the sides. So it gives contrast from this one to this one. Whereas this, like, I don't know. Kind of half and half on it so far. Let's see, here I could do it here, or down there, or along any of these. Should also probably do lights next, if anything. For these, I'd probably do something like this. Actually. But I could also... No, I kind of already screwed myself out of using light bars, right? The bars, I don't think, are going to attach to anything here. Or if they do, it's going to, like, it's going to interfere with these pieces. Because these aren't terrible either. If I did them on the corners like that. And then would that one fit? Oh, that one would fit in the middle, actually. So maybe we go like that, and then like these in the corners. Or would that end up being too much light? Because I guess here, I don't have to worry about it too much. But here we could do that there, but then we've got options to do these guys out here, and then those match, and then now we have the same light. The light's a little more distributed, but I'm not doing like 3 lights per thing. Although that would look fairly decent. And if I wanted to match those lanterns, which I don't have to. Because I like the idea of using these too. Like, these do look really good. like hanging from the corner like that. But then I feel like it's too much light, right? Like then it's boop, boop, like both of these right next to each other is too much. Now these ones are a little thinner, but I do like those ones as well for the corners. There's a little more space between them. I don't think I do lights hanging from here on this one. I think we just go something simple like this. And we just repeat that all the way around. I think that looks solid. Still don't know if I'm going to keep this part. Oh, and you know what I just realized? I never replaced the corners on this one. And if I want to use these corners, let's see. I don't think these... Will they? Oh, no, they will. Okay, those will go on just fine. I have to replace these corner pieces first before I forget. I wanted to make this one like the other one, and I thought I already did that, but I guess not. But it looks like we could still attach those lanterns to these just fine the same way. Because that was the only thing I was worried about. It's like, oh, I might not be able to attach the lanterns to those. But it would appear that we get the same exact connection. It's just a little floaty at one spot, which is totally fine. There we are. All right, guys, it's time for me to leave. Heather's off work. I was going to push till 8. But sometimes she gets off a little early. Oh, perfect. Those didn't even disappear. Let's go. W. They must be connecting to, like, the roof piece or something still. That's good for me. I don't got to replace those pieces. It's a WW. There we go. Oh, yeah. Now imagine that. All the lights everywhere. It's coming together. Now, this is technically like 3 buildings in one, but we made a lot of progress today on this part. All right. That's where we shall call it. And I'm still iffy about that one. I kind of liked the way that it makes the building look too much like these ones, even though it's supposed to. But like it doesn't need to have that top part. I think without it was just a little bit better. Let's get a look from over here. It's like how you can really see the building better. Yeah! The bridge looks fantastic. I'm so glad. All that tinkering to make the bridge work, it paid off. Because that looks friggin' sick, dude. I'm very pleased with this so far. Because remember, this building is also starting lower than these ones. So here's kind of like a... Here's another good, really good angle, to be honest. Whew. Sweaty building. All right, guys. Let's find someone to raid over to on the Twitch end, and then we'll call it. Let's see. Let's go over to Tybricks. No, you guys have a great night. I will be back on tomorrow, and we'll keep hacking away at this thing. Hacking away, and hopefully we get our part 2 update fairly soon, because I have already seen the player count dip right back down to where it was before the update. Yo, J-Dub, what's going on, dude? Did I not see you in here earlier? You've been lurking. Very nice to see you, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Still kind of in the same boat on LEGO Fortnite. We get some good updates, and then it kind of seems like that's all that could be expected for a very long time, and that's the boat we're in now with this Ninjago update. It's a great update, but the follow-up on it is a little too slow. Like, if they're going to do 2 parts to an update, they really got to keep them only, like, 2 months apart or something like that, because you go, like, 4 months like they're doing now at this point on this update, and they're just losing players. Like, understandably, like, I still enjoy the game, but I understand why the casual player is like, dude, I did all the Ninjago stuff. I'm done now. Let me get part 2. But I'm out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.